In a world that everyone's going so fast, take 2 seconds and just take in the freedom you have, the ability to have a voice. Like there's places in the world where you don't have that ability.
And boom, we are live. What's up, everybody? Couple Casuals Podcast. I am your host, Stefano. And guys, we got a very interesting conversation for you guys today. My guest today is a multi-talented entrepreneur. He is the founder of Lee Baxter Promotions. And guys, last time I had him on the podcast, I asked him a very simple question. I asked him, are you proud to be Canadian? And his answer resonated with many Canadians and bothered many others. So in today's conversation, we are going to unpack this in great length. And guys, today's conversation is brought to you by Canada First. Secure your home with Canada's best home fortification. Visit them at canadafirst.com to learn more. So with that being said, I want to welcome back to the podcast, Lee Baxter. What's going on, bro?
What's up, man? Glad
So, Lee, are you proud to be Canadian, brother?
Wow.
What a fucking...
At first, it was just, I don't know, people kept texting me that I haven't spoken to. Oh, I saw you online. Oh, I saw you online. Then I'm going places, Oakville, Burlington. You're that guy about the opinion. You're that.
That's crazy.
Right, it went.
I didn't
really
know
went.
that it was like that for you.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I kind of want. I want to start there. I want to ask you what it was like for
I
you.
met you before. No, I seen you online.
Dude, it was crazy. Honestly, like, so a little backstory for me, the way I formulate these conversations is I'm like, okay, who am I talking to? What do I want to ask them? And then I saw, obviously, having you on, and I'm like, entrepreneur, Canadian, you know, has a boxing promotion with hungry Canadians up and coming. You know, a lot of Canadian there, and I'm always grappling with the thought of Canada and like just politics too all the time. And I'm like, I'm gonna ask him if he's proud to be Canadian.
Yeah.
But I fucking had no idea that question would carry so much weight for so many people. I think we tapped into something, which we're going to talk about today, that, you know, people are concerned, people are worried, but I carried that question now, like I ask people now, other guests that I have on now, that same question, because I didn't realize the severity and the interest in it that it proposes. And you just see the sort of the...
I think it was the right question at the right time.
Yeah.
And the answer was gray. Like, I wasn't, like, extremely opinionated.
But, dude, your answer resonated with a lot of people. Yeah. And some of the things they said was, like, you said what I was thinking, which is very interesting. And then, obviously, the other side of it, where people were critiquing it. We'll talk about that, too.
Direct and offensive. I think that's why people kind of took to it. But
so what was it like from your view? Just tell me, like, people around you, like, your comments, people blowing it up. But what was that?
Comments I just ignore.
Yeah.
I don't have the energy. Like, you're just opening a conversation that's never going to end, and you're never going to please everyone. So just go. Just you guys argue with yourselves and just drive me out.
I know. I just see it pop up.
But it's great because the comments is what drives the algorithm high, I'm assuming. All the traffic and all the traction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it's crazy because every time, remember I had to repost that clip, right?
Yeah, because they clipped it with the audio.
Yeah, the audio got all fucked up. So I'm like, it was such a good clip, and it's kind of become like significant for the podcast, because the podcast, we talk about that kind of stuff, and I like asking people, like, are you proud to be Canadian? Because I like to see the different answers. Yeah. It's triggered such an interest. But I reposted it, and every fucking time I repost that clip, or it's posted somewhere, it just does well.
Yeah.
It just fucking goes nuts.
Yeah, it just like...
Recently,
that's how we got back on, because some other platform threw it up like 3 weeks ago.
Straight out of
a year and something old.
Well, is it in a year? It's about a year now.
It was, yeah, it had to be at least.
About a year.
Because it was before. When did Trudeau?
No, I think it was right.
He resigned in March, no?
Yeah, it was before that.
So I think it was around this time last year.
Yeah.
Because it was like several months before that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was around like, and then I had Josh on because I had you on.
So it was before his fight.
Yeah.
So it was probably like September, October last year.
But we tapped into something with Canada, bro, and that's kind of what I want to talk about today. Mm-hmm. It's an interesting thing to see that.
You didn't tell me I'm coming on a freaking politician podcast, bro.
Well, we're not talking about just politics.
We're
gonna talk about Canada, bro. You obviously...
It seems like when you talk about Canada, you just got to talk about politics now, or less the Blue Jays.
Yeah, well, yeah, politics too, but also like just tapping on people's concern. Mm-hmm. Well, what the fuck is going on? Mm-hmm. What the fuck is going on in Canada? How's everything going? But whatever, you don't want to, if you don't want to talk about some of that stuff, we don't have to talk.
Bro, I don't care.
Yeah, because bro, your answer was so good and it tapped in with so many people, bro. And I just to ask, like, how do you think why do you think it resonated with so many people?
I think everyone's frustrated. News outlets are now social media. Social media gives any individual a voice. Everyone wanted to vent. Everyone wanted to agree, disagree, but they were able to. And because so many people we're so frustrated in that situation, whether you're on either side, right? I think here's a clip. You have a voice, and everyone spoke up, and because everyone spoke up, just kept going and going and going.
Yeah, it seemed to have tapped into something that I did not know was such a concern, which was Canadian.
The problem is like, and maybe it's because I'm older, and you might chime in on this too, but when I was like, even as an adult, like in my 20s, I didn't really follow politics. I didn't even know what politics were. Like, you obviously know who the prime minister is, but you didn't know liberal, and then on the other side of the border, Republican, Democrat. Like, looking now, everyone knows red and blue on the other side of the border. Like, when Bill Clinton was the president, I didn't know what side he was on. I just knew he was Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
And it's just like the same things happened over here. They've driven such a divide that like politics is determining whether you like someone or dislike someone, even though you don't even meet them or you don't even know them.
Yeah, it's interesting that that's how it's kind of unfolded. And
like, there's no conversations in those conversations.
You can't even talk with some people.
No. Like, if you look in the comments, there's no conversations.
It's just people
arguments.
Yelling. Yeah.
It's like, shove my opinion down your throat, shove my opinion down your throat. Let's go at each other. And I think that's like a perfect description of what's happened to this country. It's like, okay, I don't even know what your beliefs are, but I'm hearing you like one thing that I disagree with. Oh, you're on the other side of the fence. And it's just split the country in half.
And I think that's why like something like talking about Canadian pride makes it very interesting, because you got one group of people that, you know, it's speaking on the comments. I read some of them too, and just see them popping up, you know, guys saying like, you know, you really spoke to what I was thinking. You spoke to my frustrations, you know, just that honest, decent Canadian, just speaking authentically to like, this is what's kind of happening. It's not Canada anymore. Like, so many things are changing. Like, if you're coming to the country, you know, try to become Canadian. Like, the way you articulated that, and I obviously wasn't conscious because I didn't tell you what.
No, we didn't know. Like, we talked for an hour.
And that was at the end.
40 seconds.
Yeah.
Like,
and it hit me.
Kudos to whoever found that clip editing our stuff.
Yeah. Well, I kind of look
but what I'm saying is you watch the whole podcast, and it's impressive that you caught that clip, because maybe it was another clip that we thought someone else would want to hear.
Yeah, 100%. That was the juicy part that really tapped in on people's emotions and thinking, like, they were thinking the same thing. I think a lot of Canadians, long or short of the story, are grappling with their pride for Canada, which is like, which is sad, but it's like, how did we get here, kind of thing. Like, why are we here? What's happening to the country where you're not? Because it wasn't always that way, right?
No.
We weren't always not like.
But I find like, when I was growing up, it was a very blue-collar country. I don't think it's the same. Like,
speak to that. Yeah, speak to that a little bit. Like, what do you think the biggest difference is from then till now?
I don't think the opportunities are marketed well in terms of professions. I think social media has really did a number on children and kids onto what they want to achieve and want to be for life, like in terms of profession. Yeah, like when you're growing up, I don't know, everyone just, they didn't necessarily, like, jobs were careers. I guess that's the best way to say it. Like, you'd sell car parts. But you did it prideful. Like, my dad he ran a place that sold tuner parts for classic cars. I don't even know where you'd get those anymore, because you would probably just go online, click purchase, shows up at your house. It's probably the wrong part. But if you just bought, I don't know, you're 18 years old, you just bought a classic Mustang and you want to get wheels on it, you want to tune it, you could drive down to your local place, and there was a guy that's been doing this for 35, 40 years. You'd have an hour-long conversation. It would have different insight. You'd have more interest in it. And then you'd go to a mechanic, and the mechanic would install your part. There was a culture. There was a lifestyle with so many different careers. Now, everything's online. Bro, when was the last time you had a good conversation with someone you leave your house that you didn't know? Like, there's no stranger interaction where it resonates into, like, some new interest of something.
Yeah, and it's shifted a lot in that direction too.
And that's the phones, man.
If someone was to break into my house, honestly, I wouldn't know what to do. That's something I hear often. And my response, well, don't let them break in. I'm Chad, former RCMP. Did you know that there's an average of 6 home invasions in the Greater Toronto Area daily? At Canada First, we deliver a home defense audit. We find your weak points and we show you how to prevent break-ins. We are here to fortify your home and stop intruders before they even try. Protect your home and what matters most with Canada First. Book your free home defense audit now.
So you think that's like the big part of that?
100%.
It's removing the people aspect of it is almost affecting like the pride for the country.
It works in like so many different industries. Like I'm in boxing, right? You can't have a star without that star being a character. There are no characters anymore because they're not doing anything. Like they used to have a crazy colorful story and a colorful past, and they were outspoken. Look at a guy like Muhammad Ali. Look at a guy like Mike Tyson. We're still producing sports at a high level. They're earning way more money. Who's a person that's outspoken like that? Who's a person that's colorful like that in the world right now? I don't know.
Where have they gone? Like what? So do you attribute that mostly to the technological revolution and everything?
I think everyone's being trained to not really speak. Like, I don't think it's like an agenda. Like, I'm not one of those type of guys, but I just genuinely believe that interactions are minimized. They're not necessary anymore. Everything is on your phone. You want something, you search it, you ask. If you don't know anything about it, you search it. The internet tells you what it is. You believe it.
And it can get super. I the way I feel about Lee is I love social media too because I do the podcast, everything like that, and you know it too from a promotional standpoint from boxing too. It's like a necessary,
it's a powerful tool. It's a very, very powerful tool. Because what we did the other day or last year, 2 individuals that don't have a platform cannot just create a moment like that. You just can't. Like you would have to. 20 years ago, you would go down to Speaker's Corner, you'd rant, and then someone would edit it. If it was too far-fetched, they wouldn't put it on. And then by the time it hits the media, they've already known what they're trying to achieve, right? Which, I get it. We got to edit as well. But there was a whole chain and a board that approved or disapproved that content before it went out. Yeah. Now we put the content out, and as long as it's not like some crazy outlandish stuff that like Instagram cancels, which even ours did because of a soundtrack. But what I'm saying is like,
so crazy.
Media was very
curated and in a box.
Yes. And an individual had no voice. You had to become popular for the media to pay attention to get a voice. Now, I'm sure there was influencers back then. It wasn't just news anchors, but they had a way to do it. And now it's just anyone can have a voice about anything.
And I love that though.
I do, but I don't. Like in my industry, it's crazy, bro. Did you see that fight that just got announced yesterday?
Which one?
Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua.
Well, I didn't know if it was 100% yet. Because Gervonta had to drop out, right?
Yeah, but I've been told from some inside sources that it's 100%.
I believe it. I saw, what's his name talking about it, his promoter, the English guy, I forget.
Yeah, Eddie Hearn.
Eddie Hearn, yeah. I saw him talking about it.
They're probably not talking about it too much this weekend because today Conor Benn is having a rematch with Chris Eubank Jr. So that's like the biggest thing that's going on over there.
So they're not going to talk about it too. But it's coming up though, December.
Weekend, like I'm sure, Monday morning it'll be all over the press.
Yeah, so he's sort of, Jake's a product of what we're speaking about. He's a product of social media. He's a product of
because it doesn't matter if you're good or not.
Yeah, so you think that fight's crazy? You don't like it?
I don't think it does anything good for the sport.
In no way.
Heavyweight champion of the world.
No, it's right. True.
I
respect him for fucking fighting him though.
Okay.
You're fighting Anthony Joshua?
No, I respect that. Yeah. But I don't even know what's real anymore. Is Anthony Joshua, like, is it all staged? Like I'm in the sport and I'm starting to question the sport because that's how far-fetched it's gone.
Yeah, that'd be, a lot of people critique that. And Jake, to the point where Jake's like, I'm fucking suing you if you talk about that online. Like me doing,
you know what I mean?
This and that. Which is very interesting in itself. But
what?
Who sues?
What fighter sues another fighter? What the hell?
How would they fix it though, Lee?
You can fix anything, man.
I guess we know that now with the NBA too and everything. Yeah.
MLB. You see what happened with the Guardians pitchers?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, those guys they're betting on themselves through Dominican.
Okay, there's ways
guys with. Is the first pitch going to be a ball or a strike?
Yeah.
Every game, the first pitch is getting in the dirt.
Yeah, no kidding.
$7,000 parlay. They're making money every game.
Yeah, there's definitely ways to do it, but boxing and fighting seems like the hardest one to do. But has it been done before? Of course.
100%.
But speaking on that too, he is like a product of what we're talking about here. This social media.
I'll give him credit. He works hard. You can't take that away from the individual. He probably works harder than 95% of the boxers on this planet.
That's a big statement. That's a big stat right there. 95%. You think so, eh?
Yeah.
So almost everybody.
Almost everybody, he's working harder than.
He's got so much ground to cover too.
But you started the race miles behind where all these guys are. I get it. You're making traction and you're starting to get up there. But like, I don't know. There's somewhere it's just become like a circus act. Like, bro, there's heavyweight boxers that have been doing this since they're 3, 4, 5 years old. They can really fight. They're with real promoters. They got a brand behind them. They're borderline mandatories to fight for world titles. There's mega fights that could be made. And these guys are like sidelined because Anthony Joshua will fight this circus act.
Yeah.
Because the truth of the matter is, Anthony Joshua's done.
Yeah, well, he's at the tail end.
If he was to fight the very top end guys, which he has, he's lost to them. So what do you do with this guy? He's a superstar, but he's not that good.
I know. Well, the thing is the dollars and cents, bro. The money that these guys are making, and you know better than anybody, it's tough to make money in the fucking boxing industry.
If we're gonna say Vladdy Guerrero and Otani are not going to play in the World Series, they're going to bungee jump and see who touches the sand first. They're big enough people that people will tune in and pay for it.
It's a fair point.
It's a stupid thing because really and truly they should be playing baseball because they're the two best baseball players. Now, some guy that was like a baseball journalist, is he able to become so popular on the internet that he jumps in the 26-man roster on the Dodgers? No. That's just how sports are. Keep him out. Be a journalist. Be a hype man. Like, you can't jump and say, I'm going to jump in the Super Bowl because I want to play for the New Orleans. Like,
so let's stay on that for a sec. Do you think that somebody like Jake Paul should be sort of pushed out of like the competitive boxing?
I think the problem with boxing is there's so much corruption and there's no structure in it that he's able to do this in a sport. And I think that's the same reason why HBO and Showtime got out of boxing, because it's just there's no structure. It's a freak show.
How does that affect the future of boxing, though?
I think it's cooked.
You think?
I don't even have the same desire to promote.
Well, you know better than anybody because you've been in it. It's like face fronting, so yeah. you know that.
You know, because you always look at something like second to what we were talking about earlier with like kids and what they look up to.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's like if I'm looking to try and do something in an industry, I have to look at the very top of the industry and hope that I could attain to be there one day. That's not to say that I might get there, but you've got to have hopes and dreams. When you're looking at the top of an industry and it's in shambles, it's very hard to get excited when you're not at the top to be like, oh, I want to be a kingpin in this industry. I want nothing to do with being at that top. Like, if I could be one of the biggest promoters in the world, do you think I'd want to be promoting Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua? I wouldn't even go to the stadium. And that's not like, I get the spectrum of a magnitude of a large sporting event, but it's like, that's not the elite fighting the elite, trying to find some rare moment to see who's really the best at something.
That's good. I guess
it's just like it's basically WWE that's not scripted.
Yeah, and they're having a scrap.
You're very popular. You're athletic. We kind of know what's supposed to happen. Maybe some weird thing disrupts that. Like maybe Jake Paul knocks him out. It's like same with Mike Tyson. Like everyone believed that he was going to do something. It's disrespectful.
Yeah, he's almost 60 years of age, right?
Yeah,
it's very interesting to see how that's unfolding, and it's sort of taken a life of its own. There's even like Misfits Boxing now, for example, that's having like celebrity boxing matches. Like guys are getting in there and fighting each other.
What's happening is the networks are all trying to find this golden goose egg, and they're just putting whatever does numbers now. It's like, how can we get people to tune in? Well, okay. If you put some girl that's borderline topless against another borderline topless girl and call them professionals and punch each other in the head, there's going to be a market that wants to see it. I don't think it's a sport.
And that's the birth of what we were talking about that shock value, social media, technological revolution. This is where this kind of came from. You know where it started? Was Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor, the crossover sport. I feel that...
I disagree slightly.
You don't think so?
No. Listen, you're talking about, at the time, the number one pound-for-pound boxer in the world facing the number one mixed martial arts.
That's fair.
Now, granted, he was crossing over into a sport where he was a little bit foreign, but he still had a boxing background, and his sport is still combative sports.
He wasn't a YouTuber.
No, it's not some, like... You still have to respect those individuals because there's not someone else on the planet that can do what they can do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you on that. It was the birth of the spectacle, though.
Yes, it was the birth of the crossover, how to make the biggest thing in the world bigger.
And it was, bro. That was the second biggest view, right?
Huge. Pacquiao was the only one that was bigger.
And I hear that now Floyd Mayweather wants to have a rematch with him as well.
They're just...
See, they're really
stay relevant
in on it, bro.
Keep making money because people keep paying.
Yeah.
And you can't even tell people not to because there's nothing else to do.
They're going to tune in. They're going to tune in.
Look at what happened a couple weeks ago. Look at the tune-ins in the in World Series. That's the best of the best versus each other. 3 countries had breaking records of tune-ins.
Dude.
And let's be realistic. If the Seattle Mariners beat the Jays, and they're playing the Brewers, no one cares. It's not that no one cares, but you're not getting numbers. You're not getting economic drive between a Canadian team, an American team, Los Angeles, Toronto.
That's what sucks though, bro. And that kind of taps into the bigger picture of Canada doesn't have that value yet.
Well, there you go. You want to answer the question that you were asking me earlier? I say the Blue Jays are doing a better job than Mark Carney.
Yeah, that's fair. Because
no one in that stadium gave a crap about your political views. You were all wearing a Blue Jay. And when Bichette hit that home run, there's no way that some liberal was not high-fiving some conservatives. That's just a fact. So you have to say and that's another thing. People say, oh, the economy shot. Bro, it's the biggest gate in Canadian sports history, Game 7. Those tickets were breaking crazy. People have money. They know when to spend it. They just want to spend it on something that they see value in.
But when are you ever going to see that again? Game 7, Jays, in the city of Toronto, last 33 years ago, right?
You never see it again.
That's why people were paying.
But people found the money.
Yeah, the fucking credit.
People found the money. And what happened? Do you think anyone in the middle of that game was talking about political views?
That's a good point. Sports transcends politics. It transcends.
Highest level sports.
Highest level.
When there's true competition in sports, the world stops.
You know who spoke about that too is after 9/11, there was a baseball game and everybody was standing and celebrating the national anthem and standing in unity. And you're exactly right. It does. Sports will transcend that politics, the division. And it's unfortunate that we're at a place.
Look at Kaepernick.
Kaepernick, yeah, he made sports political.
100%, but they had so much influence that they were influencing culture into political values. Now, what I'm saying on the other way is if you have something that's such a big magnitude, people forget about all this nonsense. They forget about their values. They come back to being people, saying hey, bro, did you just watch that? That made me feel a certain way inside.
100%.
That I don't care what you think. We're still humans and we're both having that same feeling.
I think we need to get back to that, Lee. How do we get back to that?
I don't know. Get rid of Ohtani.
Dude, I don't watch.
Should have offered him $800 million. I don't know,
Dude, I don't watch baseball, but I fucking watched that whole week.
100% you did.
Awesome.
Okay, so since the last podcast, I'm involved in. I have a small ownership in a cafe, Le Gourmand.
Oh, awesome! I didn't.
And,
that's great.
And Liam he's the one of the 3 brothers that own it. This kid, you'd look at him and you'd be like, for sure. He's into sports. He's athletic. He's 6'4",
oh, yeah.
well-shaped, young kid. Doesn't know anything about sports. I would call him every night because he's all about his business, researching about I don't know, like some new oven or something bakery related. And I'd be like, bro, what are you doing? Oh, just on the internet. Well, turn it off, go watch the Blue Jays. So he ends up reconnecting with an old friend, and their family owns the Imperial Pub. I don't know if you know that pub. It's at Yonge and Dundas. It was there since 1944. It was recently closing, I think this week, because they sold for development.
No kidding.
He went there to watch the Jays game, and he's like, this is crazy. Like, this pub has carpet floors. It's 88 years old, and everyone packed into this place just to watch these guys come together and try and relive the memories of 92, 93. It's like, somewhere down the line, Canada's lost not just the Blue Jays, but that moment that took place. There needs to be more moments like that can't just be sport related. It has to be some like cultural related that brings the country together.
That's a great point.
And not politics, man. I don't want to know about politics.
Do you pay attention to it at all?
I try not to, but how do you not?
How do you not? Yeah, that's
it's in your face everywhere. It's face, like just politics. What are your views? What are your this? Who do you vote for? Like, do you think about, I don't even want to touch all the topics. It's just too much.
But isn't it like a necessary evil at times? Like you almost need to, like, do you vote, for example?
Yeah, I vote because I think everyone should.
Okay, that's fair.
Like,
it's like one of those things that is a fucking necessary evil. Because I've had a lot of politicians on the podcast. I've had entrepreneurs. I've trying to have people from both.
The bottom line is the older you get, the more you realize it's all just money, man. And the people are just milking the cow, just trying to get out as much as they can. Like, would I vote for someone because I agree with where they stand on views? Yeah. But also, is that individual capable to have influence to make changes that are beneficial to my life?
Do you see someone like that right now? Like, do you think
no? Because the world is so divided and there's so different sides of the spectrum that like you can't make a decision and please two people that want two different decisions.
That's fair, yeah. Because the political parties represent
and
so much,
so driven in the public's eye that people are so opinionated now that they're like, it's got to be this way or it's got to be this way. Well, you can't please both because you guys are so far away from each other.
It's somewhere in the middle, but
someone has to come up and say, okay, well, like, come on, man. I get it's a bet, but we're talking about our mayor. After the way that went down and ended, our mayor is riding around on a Bixie bike in a Dodgers jersey because she lost a bet.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Olivia
Chow bet the mayor of Los Angeles, whoever loses has to ride around in the city in the opposing.
Was that Gavin Newscomb?
No,
that's who she bet. Did you hear that? He just did a podcast and she was on it.
He's the dog.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, mayor's she lost the bet and that's weird.
No, it's just like, listen, you know what? I get it. Fair play. But if Olivia Chow really was a Jays fan, she wouldn't do that. She wouldn't place that bet and she wouldn't do that. So you have our leader just making a mockery. Like, you think those guys on that team wanted to see that?
That's brutal, dude. I didn't know that.
It's just like, and it's all about politics. It's all about clickbait. It's nonsense. What are you doing that
She
for?
didn't actually care.
No. And if she did care, funny way of showing it.
You know what that reminds me of, Lee? And maybe you'll agree with me too. And you could tap in because
But that's our leader, bro. Yeah. That's our leader. That's like 7 million people in the GTA look at her to make a decision and lead us.
Well, 64% of Toronto feels that she's taking the city in the wrong direction.
No, but that's what I mean by this political nonsense. It's like, and listen, I don't know enough about what she's done and what she hasn't done, but I know something like that resonated with me to know that she shouldn't have did that, and that's enough to tell me I don't want to vote for her.
Well, dude,
what's wrong with you, man?
Yeah, dude,
you go into a war, you go into like, you're supposed to be behind your team. Win, lose, or draw, you guys celebrate together or you sulk together. You don't turn around a couple days later and throw the opposing team's jersey on and ride around the city like an idiot.
She rode around L.A. or Toronto?
Toronto.
That's terrible. Dude, I didn't know that.
That's so messed up, bro.
Dude, how devastated were you when they lost? Because I
wasn't.
You weren't? You were just like, whatever?
No, because that's sports, man.
I know it is.
I got everything out of that I was going to get out of it.
But dude, the ball getting stuck in the fucking mat and shit, like
That's
for
sports.
real?
What about the throw to home plate? When Falafa
This far off?
didn't take a big lead. But if he did take a big lead and it was a line drive to third and then he got picked off on a double play, he said lose-lose. Either way, there's so many different moments. Like Hoffman talking all that smack when he came in and the benches rushed. And the Dodgers kept saying, you don't want to get in this game, buddy. Don't get in this game. Because he was the one running his mouth the most. Then what happens? He gets in the game. There's a personal vendetta. They want to upset Hoffman. Somehow, some way, the guy digs deep and hits a home run, ties the game. There's like so many moments, but like there's so many emotions that went back and forth and back and forth. Everyone needed it to be over, bro. Like you couldn't do that any longer. It was crazy.
Like, people were missing work and shit.
It was
like,
crazy.
Staying up till midnight, 2 in the morning.
Bro, 18 innings? There's no way anyone got anything done that following
There's
day.
no way.
No way.
City of Toronto, 33 years since the last time they were in that situation?
Yeah.
Like
32.
Yeah, so they were fired up. And it speaks to something bigger, too, because you're talking about Olivia Chow and this type of thing. You know what that reminds me of? Like her kind of betraying the city in that way?
Mm.
Is like when, people who live in Toronto are like supporting Kendrick Lamar more than they are like Drake. Like, what are your thoughts?
Well,
Do you think that plays into the same type of vibe? Because he's kind of our guy, which like
Who's
Toronto, Drake.
100%. How could you not? Like,
Yeah.
people wouldn't even know who Kendrick Lamar if there wasn't a Drake. Like, hip hop culture became massive because Drake created it here.
And he brought him on tour too, right?
Anything away from that guy. And I don't know what Kendrick Lamar does for LA, but I guarantee it's not what Drake's done for Toronto. It's just, there's no way. I'm not saying it's easy to do what Kendrick Lamar has done, but he's in a farming system. There's been so many Compton rappers. There's been so many LA rappers. Like, Drake didn't go behind a wealth of all these rappers and then just make it a little bigger. He was the pioneer. Like, he paved the way for Toronto rap scene.
Yeah, it's and when he came here, right? The Kendrick came here, like a bunch of Toronto people.
I actually was at the concert.
You for real?
I got the tickets for free.
But like a lot of people,
and that wasn't a good concert.
Were critiquing, and they're like, yeah, we're with Kendrick versus being with Drake.
Yeah, because they're making it about them. No one cares who you're with, buddy. This is your moment of fame. You went to a Kendrick concert, so I'm with Kendrick. No one cares. I like people need they like need some sort of identity. Like, they need to try and be relevant. They make things about them.
I like the idea of like unity and like sticking together. And I feel that, and tell me if you think I'm wrong, like Toronto, we're lacking that a little bit. Like, people don't support each other as much as you would want.
Yeah, it's a bandwagon city. Like, how many people, I can firsthand say, I was at the season opener. I had season tickets when they weren't in first place. Like, does anyone know the 40-man roster? That was
definitely not.
No.
But they may not.
And
baseball.
And listen, we're not just talking about baseball. Like, Game 7 with Florida, with the Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
I was at Hotel Le Germain. You know where the Maple Leaf Square is?
Okay.
Where they have like that, like they fence it off and everyone can watch it on the.
Yeah.
So Le Germain is the hotel partner there, and they have 4 suites that have balconies. And you're like, it's like a big suite. The balcony overlooks that big TV in the big square. A few of us went there, and I played hockey my whole life. But I guarantee half those people can't skate. They're not like going buying a ticket to go see the Oshawa Generals. Like, they're not hockey fans. They're just bandwagon jumpers. They just want a moment like we were having the other day. And I think the city needs to figure out, like I said, create more moments like that unifies people and brings them together and makes them forget about this nonsense that we talk about.
And you know what that reminds me of too? Like, in the States, they fucking support their high school teams.
Oh my God, bro. I used to live in Dallas. Friday night, what is it? Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
There's like 15, 20,000 people at a high school football team. Where's that here?
Why?
Small towns.
Is that what it is?
Here. No, I'm saying small towns will have, because that's there's a culture in a small town. You're like a small town guy that needs to have some motivation. You're a plumber and an electrician and an HVAC guy, live in a subdivision. There's nothing to cheer for, nothing. Oh, but all our kids are playing AAA hockey.
Yeah.
On a Saturday night. They're not coming down to watch the Leafs. They're going to the hockey game. They're ready to fight the other hockey dads because my son's gonna make it. And it's like you're a part of something. You believe in it. There's a culture. And I'm not gonna say Toronto doesn't have culture. It doesn't have unifying culture here. It has divided culture.
Why though? Like that's what I'm trying to figure. That's what I've been trying to figure out.
And I think it comes back to what we went viral for. When you come here, you don't know what you're coming to become. And when I say become, I don't mean you got to change. But there has to be something that says, hey, you know what? Let's all come here for a better life that we all somehow agree we want. Not like, oh, I came here for this, I came here for that, I came for that. And then you're fighting with each other to say, no, this is better than this and this. There's got to be some sort of common ground.
I hear you.
From coast to coast that everyone says, hey, you know what? I don't know where you're from. I don't even know what you're saying because I don't understand your language. But I can say this. There's something inside you and something inside me that we both want in this land.
Yes.
Every single person. But I don't know what it is anymore.
And I think that taps into what you said about come here to become Canadian. What do you think it means to be Canadian? Like if somebody asks you like, oh, you're a Canadian, like, you're in your boxer promotion, you're dealing with people from the States all the time, this and that. And they were to ask you like, Lee, what does it mean to be Canadian? What does those values mean? What does that represent to you?
I learn history enough to value that flag.
To be Canadian. Like,
yeah.
I think about like, nice for sure. You could be a kind person. It speaks to your point earlier about the community aspect of it, the kindness, the caring for the next person, but in a prideful way.
I think it was always because there wasn't much ancestry here that is still currently here. Like there's a lot of natives and whatnot, but I mean like a lot of the population that came in like a large influx was immigrants, and it was always come here for a better life.
Yes, yeah.
That's the common. I don't care what anyone says.
Opportunity.
Like, it was like the new United States. The United States used to be the land of opportunity. Canada was the new land of opportunity, which was like the 2.0 of America in terms of what opportunities you could have. But now, I don't see the opportunities anymore. Like, not the way that you could several years ago.
When do you think we were like proud to be, like, when do you think that pride was like lingering? I'll tell you what I think about. I think about like you said, where you could be in a liberal's home, a liberal can be in a conservative's home, and you guys could not literally give a shit that you vote the other way.
Know.
You wouldn't even know.
No. This has all happened in my eyes, in the last decade.
And we were just like, watch the Canadian hot. I think about that. So it speaks to your point about the sports unifying. We'd be watching the game together, watching a hockey game together, just sitting there, just drinking some beers.
Yeah.
Just a couple casuals.
Yeah.
That's literally what I thought when I think about like in a snowy day outside. That's what it kind of meant to be Canadian. But to your point, politics, whether you love it or not, it fucking infiltrated everybody and it divided us in one way or another.
Yeah.
And it's affected the pride for Canada.
Yeah, I'm not like super superstitious or nothing, but I do believe in like speaking things and thinking things into existence.
Right.
If whatever is on your mind, if you keep thinking that and you keep speaking that, it's going to grow. It's just like a plant. You just keep watering that plant. And I believe that these topics are so in our face and constantly being spoken about that it's inevitable. You're going to continue those conversations. Those conversations are going to turn into disagreement, argument.
Yeah.
And that just becomes so relevant that's life. This is all we talk about. This is all we think about. And I hate keep going back to these same points, but like there's a sporting event or something that somehow they've done such a good job that it becomes more important than those points, that those points are forgotten about for that split moment.
Yes. Yeah. And we need to find a way to make that carry on.
Stop talking about those points. Start talking to people just like they're people about things again. Like I said back in the day, when someone wanted a car part, you went in there. Like, bro, go to Home Depot and not know what you're doing and trying to do it yourself project. And like, I'll send Kalen and his mother, okay? Just go to Home Depot and try and do something together. You don't know what you're going to do. He saw something online. He wants to build it. It's not going to be like built to a T, but you don't know what you're doing, and you're going to go to the hardware store to go figure it out. I guarantee you that there are people aren't at that hardware store that can help you figure it out. You like when I was 20, I had a condo, and then I bought a house with my buddy. Homes on Homes.
Which nobody does now, by the way.
You remember Mike Holmes?
Mike Holmes, yeah.
Homes on Homes.
Homes on Homes.
It was like a reality TV show.
Oh, okay.
That he was a burly Canadian guy, and he would just cut up contractors that walked away from jobs.
Yes, okay.
And he became such a brand that he had Mike Holmes paint. Like the overalls were a thing. And that guy influenced me and my friend to buy this fixer-upper house.
Really?
We didn't really know what we're doing. We're handy, but none of us, we didn't have trade schools. We're just like, we'll figure this out. Bro, we were on that house for like 18 months. And I think we probably made like $7,000. It definitely was not successful. But we learned so much about it. And we would go to the pro desk at Home Depot, and there'd be a guy that had been a 25-year framer, and now he got a good job with Home Depot, and he would tell us, okay, the studs have to be 16 inches apart, all these things. Bro, you could, like I said, I could send Grace and Kaylin into Home Depot. They couldn't build anything because there's no one there that even is educated or even cares, because everyone's occupied these jobs just to occupy them to survive. No one cares about things.
I know, bro, and it speaks to the bigger point. And this is the inevitable reality of politics. It does matter in a way because the policy matters. And not that immigration is the issue like we spoke about. It's not. We both have parents that are immigrants, etc.
But listen, bro, look what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Everyone has a home. I'm not saying that everyone had to be from Stouffville and they've been a framer for 30 years at Home Depot.
Yeah.
There's framers in Dubai. There's framers in India. There's framers everywhere. You got to vet your staff. You got to still care for something while you're integrating immigration.
But that's the thing. There's so much at once that I think the country can't sustain it. That's the precise problem. Not immigration itself.
It's too fast.
It's too fast.
And that's what we talked about.
Yeah, that's exactly what
we're coming here so quick.
And that shouldn't be a controversial thing. That shouldn't be a problem. It's not.
I get you're trying to grow your country, but bro, if you grow it at a pace that you're not prepared for, this is what happens.
It's unsustainable. The infrastructure can't handle it. Our healthcare system can't handle it.
They're just looking at numbers. They're not looking at splitting it up. Have some sort of incentives that occupy, this Ring of Fire thing that's going on right now. You heard of that?
No.
It's basically a new, it's like a 5,000 kilometer radius, well north Ontario, north of Timmins, where all the rich minerals can be mined.
Okay.
Lithium, everything.
Which we're very rich in, by the way.
Extremely rich.
Yeah.
But they need to drive traffic up there to create infrastructure. It can't just be some mining land. So if you have all these immigrants coming, then why aren't you having some sort of restriction where, okay, we'll give you a visa, but you have to go to these places.
That's where we need them.
What's happening is you're putting all these, now we went up 2 million in population. Well, out of those 2 million, probably 500,000 are in Montreal, 200,000 are in Vancouver, and the other 1.3 are in Toronto. No one is in Timmins. Because I'll tell you right now, some guy ain't leaving Bangladesh to go sit in Timmins in February. I don't care what land of opportunity is. He's frozen and going home.
He's not coming.
He lost his toes. Yeah. It's not happening.
It ain't happening. That's a good point. Yeah, we need the people, but take them where we need the support.
If you want to grow a country properly and you want to maximize on your resources and your size. Your country's massive, but you just keep populating this little place.
Yeah, the city center is just overwhelmed. And then other things happen. Like it's where I think about the Canadian pride. It's hard to say you're proud to be Canadian when so many things are disintegrating in front of you. Like, I'm still proud to be Canadian. Like, I love the country.
I'm still here.
Yeah, exactly.
I still spend money here. I still earn money here.
It's
I still employ
disappointing, though,
here.
as what's happening. Like, dude, we talk about the city of Toronto. You know the crime and the homelessness increase here? You live here.
Oh, I see it every day.
It's pretty intense, bro. And that didn't happen by...
But you can't even blame them. Like, you can't blame the police for not being able to police.
They don't have the resources.
They don't have at all. They don't have the manpower. And listen, man, this is going to be a really touchy topic again. But like, when I was a kid, they didn't have body cams. And sometimes what people see and don't see, you don't need to see everything to get your point across.
I get where you're getting at.
Like when me and 3 buddies went to skip religion class and go down to the local park and smoke a joint, and then that cop rolled in and saw 4 kids, he wasn't like, hey kids, I'm gonna give you a pamphlet about smoking weed. We were thrown in the back of a cop car, thrown in cuffs, scared shitless. You don't want to smoke weed again, tell you that much, because you think you're going to do 20 years the way it was driven in your head.
Yes.
And now society would be like, oh my God, you traumatized that kid. No, you made that kid a better child.
Yeah,
I'm not saying pull out a gun and put it in his head and say, get rid of the weed. But somewhere, like, the authority lost the ability to use their authority to help society stay on track.
Yes. We lost that grit and that toughness. And I feel like the States, for example, still has it. And if you ask an American, are you proud to be American? I guarantee they would say, I'm fucking proud to be American. Most of them anyway.
Yeah.
Would you think so?
Yeah, because look who their leader is. I don't fully agree in everything that comes out of Trump's mouth, but he's a leader. I don't care what anyone says. There's no way you're telling me that when Carney went down there and Trump went down there, it was 2 alpha males that are about to head off, and one's running a country that the other one's going to be like, okay, we either make this work or I don't need you.
You know this better than anybody. Business negotiations, he knows he has the leverage.
100%. Well, how does he not? You got a self-made, well, when I say self-made, going into office, he was already a billionaire. He's a business mogul. He's relationships across the whole globe. He's a trigger puller.
Yeah.
Like, this is how it's going to be. We might butt heads, but you're going to listen to me because I'm who I am. We have the power to do it. That's how it's going to be. Well, everyone else just folds up.
Yes.
Our leader folds up.
He ran on that too, that he was going to go elbows up against Trump, which we haven't seen.
What's happened?
Nothing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, but they ooze out of pride in America. You could say what you want about them, but I fucking like that they do.
No, I really like America.
Yeah, like the way they stand on their shit. And they've had a,
But they also have a rich history of stuff. Generations of losses, of wars, of accomplishments.
That adds character.
And it adds a lot of character that you are more prideful to believe. Look at their military, like to be a U.S. Marine.
That's,
you know how crazy, credible that is? Like, you walk through the airport, whatever. What I'm saying is there's value in careers. There's value in positions that doesn't exist here. Like, when people say, oh, I'm joining the Canadian Army, okay?
Doesn't carry the same.
Brandon Brewer was a boxer.
Mm-hmm.
I had him till he was 20-0. He was in the Canadian Army.
Okay.
And he's from New Brunswick, Fredericton, actually. Blue-collar town. Tough kid. Do you know what he did?
What?
Planted 25,000 trees.
Really? That's what his job
That was one of his positions. It was for several weeks, they're planting trees. Not a gardener. He was a Canadian Army professional boxer.
All respect to him, honestly.
No,
100%.
it's not his fault.
That is
he did what he was told.
Yeah,
but I'm sure when he went down to that military base and looked at that picture of his grandfather that was fighting in Vietnam at 18 years old, and he's like, I want to do something for Canada.
Yes.
I'm going to push through this regimen of push-ups and sit-ups and crazy long nights, getting prepared, all this military training. Okay, now plant 10,000 maple trees.
Did you ever ask him, or did you expect, like, what did he say about that?
He said, cool, I got paid for it. I got like a little pension, but like, it's like, you can't take it serious.
Yeah, that's
Like,
insane.
you think when he goes, Trump is meeting Carney. Trump brings a couple Marines and Brandon Brewer and a couple soldiers are there. You think they're looking at each other like, if we kick off, this is going to be a real dust-off.
No,
I'm going to be able to sniper you down.
Yeah.
What?
Those guys are animals.
He's going to be like, bro, I'll get down on one knee and shake your hand because you're a dog. Like,
yeah. Yeah, America has a history. They have to fight for their, they really been through some shit. And I think that
Japan has been through some shit too, but like, I just don't
We're
think
just younger too, right?
Yeah, but I just don't think it's like, it's valued the same.
And you know what, Lee? We could be more powerful, and I'll tell you how, is if we used our resources better. Like you were talking about the mining of lithium and stuff and how rich we are. We don't
Look
do
up
it.
Ring of Fire and look how, like, one of the main reasons why Trump was trying to take Canada.
Yeah, and you want
He
to start that
knows.
negotiation. But dude, we're rich. If we really use our resources
off every country
yeah,
and exist probably better than any other country on the planet with our natural resources.
and that's the problem. There's a missed opportunity, and that's where politics fucks it up. Because if the they're like, oh, we don't want to fuck the environment up and this and that, but dude, we're rich. The oil, down in Alberta and everything like that, we have the resources to make our country really wealthy and therefore powerful. In a way, our military has obviously a long way to go, but we have the resources to fucking really combat, really have some leverage, right?
Yeah.
So that's one thing that if we were to tap in on that, I think that would carry some weight in the way we negotiate with these people and stuff. I want to ask you about, you talk a lot about your son, and I want to ask you about that because the future of Canada is sort of his future.
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean to you to be a father, and then also are you worried about his future in Canada?
So I'm very, very fortunate that my son is multicultural. So like the fact that he has a Korean mom and she still holds a lot of her Korean values. She speaks Korean to him. I learned Korean words from their communication. I've been to Korea. We're going to Korea again. I want him to be introduced to that culture as well, so he has options. I think that's the thing now. You got to have options as a kid growing up. You can't put all your eggs in one basket because I think leadership is not good here.
What does it mean for you to be a father? How has that changed you as a man? Because
There's nothing, like anyone will say, and listen, everyone's a father in a sense. Like we all came from something, right? So everyone had a father. I didn't understand how much it was going to change me.
Really? In what way?
Things just don't matter. They just don't matter. Like what matters about shaping this individual. When he's 18, you either succeeded or you failed. You're still always going to be his father. But like this is your most important job in my eyes, because you have the control to make this individual exactly how you think is the best way for this individual to go. Obviously, he's going to have his own way of taking things and what he agrees with and disagrees, but his agreements and disagreements are going to be how he was raised and what his values are instilled into him.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize that until I was in it.
Mm.
And it's just everything else doesn't matter. Like you let yourself go. When you were putting yourself first, you ethically and morally can't put yourself first anymore, because there's an individual that you created that they don't have the ability to put themselves first yet because they're not there yet. It's your responsibility to put them first, and then you're secondary.
You know what's interesting about being a father too is that you were a young boy to a son. Is that you were a young boy at one particular stage? You ever look back at like, oh, I remember how this kind of was at this age. I'm going to try to, maybe not influence this or try to steer him this way.
I'll give you. So, I live downtown.
Mm-hmm.
My sister lives an hour north of the city. My mom lives with my sister because she's older. She sold her house. They got a nice house. She lives in the basement. I'm in a bustling going every day. You don't realize how quickly time's passing by, right? My sister calls me up the other day. I'll check in on mom. She's not doing so well. She's had cancer twice, beat it, but she's in her 70s. So I call her up and she's like, oh, yeah, I'm a little like uneasy, getting anxiety. I'm kind of depressed. I don't know what's going on. And then everything stopped. 3-4 years ago, it wouldn't have stopped. I would have and I love my mom. I'm not saying I don't love her any more or less. And she's an amazing mom. But now that I've seen for the last 3 years what I've had to do as a parent, knowing that she had to do that and more, you have a totally different value.
Yeah.
And the conversation didn't end with, oh, Mom, I'm going to take you on a fancy trip. Or, oh, Mom, I'm going to buy you a bunch of stuff. Or, no, it was, Mom, I'm going to come pick you up, come down here, and you're going to fall asleep and wake up with your grandson. Because those moments that you cherished when I was latched onto you at like 11 o'clock and I'm waking up and the only thing that can put me back to sleep is my mom, you need to feel those again. Because I know what those feel like.
Yeah, that connection and that just the beauty of and the innocence of a child and their development stages. Like right now, he's 3 years old. It's so every year is so amazing.
100%.
It's like 1 year is just more significant than the next.
And it's different than the last.
Yeah. I've always interested to ask people about.
You have kids?
I want to. We're going to start soon probably, but yeah, not yet. We went through a recent situation where my dad passed away in the summer. So I speak to that with like some experience with like a father, and I've been thinking a lot about fucking life.
Yeah, my dad died 12 years ago. Same thing, man.
Yeah.
The bottom line is, I was very like you. Not yet. If you have the right person to have them with, just have them, man. There's never going to be a right. There's never going to be a not right.
There's never a right time.
I'll tell you what the not right is: waiting and waiting and waiting.
Yeah.
You're doing a disservice to the child, because the older you get, the less you can give the kid.
Did you wait, or were you guys just? It just was like, let's go. Like,
I was in a long relationship, and
Right.
we didn't have children. And then I got out of that relationship. Was like, needed to just be alone for a bit.
yeah,
And then
which is valuable.
And then and then I connected with Grace, and very quickly we had kids.
Yeah, that's like me and
A child.
Yeah, me and my wife, like we met, and within a year we got married. I'm happy we did, because my dad was able to be at that wedding, which is like, looking back, it's like, fuck, thank God we did it in a year. Because you get the
Give him the moments. Like,
I do.
you want to do things for other people too. It's not like you just want to get married
valuable.
for her. Like, he wants to believe that he succeeded.
Oh, dude, he was so proud.
Yeah.
He was fucking proud, and you'll feel that feeling too one day.
Oh, 100%. I feel that every day in the stupidest little things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you
Take
Sunday.
him on a scooter. Like, we're downtown, right? There's electric scooters are everywhere. I rip around because I'm thinking like how I was a kid. I'd throw this 2-year-old at the time on the scooter. I'm just ripping, no helmet, no nothing. I don't give a shit, right? And people are like, oh my God, that kid's gonna die. What's wrong with you? Like, okay. And you know what? He might be in the X Games. No, you know why? Because when he's 5, he'll be on the scooter with no helmet doing tricks or something. But your 5-year-old will be, I'm scared. Don't cross the street. Like, you gotta let people live, man. Yeah, maybe he does get injured. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe I should have put a helmet on him. Maybe.
I like that approach to parenting, and we're lacking that now.
Yeah, man. You
Let them live.
Like, the reason why I even went down that story is because we have 2 steps out of our house, right? There's a platform, then 2 steps. And he was watching like snowboarding videos, because I was like, it's coming winter. Like, you're 3, you're going to have to get on the board. And then he was watching these videos. And then as we're going to daycare, he stopped and goes, Dada. And he jumps off the stairs and does like a 180 and lands it. And he was so proud. But you know what? If he wasn't watching those, and I didn't try and say, hey, you're Canadian, you're going to have to be on the snow at a young age, you got to get confident, he wouldn't have jumped there, and he wouldn't have landed that. We wouldn't have had that connection. He wouldn't have went to school with a bit more confidence that day. It's just like, you got to push them.
You got to push them. And then, sometimes, I broke my fucking arm when I was a kid. I smashed my whole face up.
Bro.
But that stuff makes you better.
When we were growing up, what were the games you played? I'll tell you right now, it wasn't called
Red
Duty.
Ass.
Red Ass, Red Rover.
Red Rover.
Red Rover,
Yes.
calling you over, buddy. And everyone locks arms. You run across them and you try to dislocate their shoulder.
Yes.
Like,
I wonder if kids do that now.
are you
No
crazy?
chance, eh?
No way, man. No way. They're probably like, please separate. You can text each other during recess only. Like,
Dude, and it's to our point, and just to kind of tie a bow on everything, but it's to our point that social media softened everybody in a way because of the influence and TikTok and all this type of stuff. But I think, and I like to believe, that conversations like this, where young guys, like, especially taking messaging to these types of conversations, it leads them in that way to like, you know what, that maybe is the right way.
you got to remind fathers
Yeah.
what you were as a kid.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. We would play dodgeball, and 5 kids in gym class would have bloody noses. I guarantee you that is not happening these days.
And it was fucking fun.
Bro, and you think I cared what my teacher's sexual orientation was? I'm sure there was one guy, like I remember one guy, we called him Pot because he had hair plugs.
Oh, shit.
And we used to tease the guy because he had hair plugs.
And he had fun with it too?
No, he didn't have fun with it, but that was society. That was the world, man. Like,
yes, yeah.
And then I'm sure there was a teacher that was probably funny back then that we all laughed with, and there was other ones that was weird. But like, they certainly weren't coming in pushing an agenda on us, trying to like, bro, it was like history, religion, gym. Like,
I know it's sad that most of the time
you didn't remember anything. You just remembered your friends, having good moments. Like, I did not remember grade 2 geography.
Yeah.
Like, what did that do for me?
At those ages, it's like you said, community and moments.
Talking to me about who you want to spend the rest of your life with that's same sex and all this. It's just like, get out of here. This is nuts, man.
That's
like
happening.
Child abuse.
Dude, and that's happening. And that's where the controversy kind of lies.
That's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, that is.
We're going to get a whole nother level.
Another viral clip.
Yeah.
Well, Lee, listen, man, I fucking appreciate you coming down. You're always welcome to come back on Couple Casuals podcast, man.
Probably.
I'm sorry to bring up the politics and stuff like that, but
no,
we had fun with it.
It was a conversation that went by fast.
Yeah, exactly. I appreciate you, man. And the final segment on Couple Casual podcast, I give an opportunity to just end this off with a salute. I'm Italian. We like to give a nice salute. Cheers. So if you have anything like, to end us off with, maybe words of encouragement, a statement, whatever you want, end this off.
I think in a world that everyone's going so fast, take 2 seconds and just take in the freedom you have, the ability to have a voice. Like, there's places in the world where you don't have that ability. You don't have that right. You don't have anything. So I think you got to be thankful of that, and don't push the bar too much to try and like change people's opinions. Keep your opinion to yourself and just connect on something that you guys both agree on. So it's always like a positive conversation.
I love it, man. Lee.
Salute.
Thank you, brother. And thank you, everybody. Until next time, I love everybody else. Ciao.